Chennai to Yercaud. This is my third longest ride on my Java 42. This was part of an ex-PHP anniversary ride which I came to know through a dear friend. We started from Chennai and we rode all the way till Ulundurpet and stopped there for breakfast and for fuel. As you can see, mine is the only Java 42 of the entire lot. After having breakfast and filling fuel, we rode all the way until a place near Salem. We stopped there for tea. From here, we rode to the foothills of Yercaud. We decided that we will take the route through Kuppanur. Despite riding to Yeligiri, I knew this would be a challenging ride, purely because of the fact that this was a longer mountain range and I have never been to Yercaud before. It was an entirely new route. People who rode with me were very well experienced. They seemed to have ridden in the Ghats quite a lot earlier because this seemed like a piece of cake for them. They rode at higher speeds, but for me, I was an amateur. With just 2.5 months of riding practice, this was pretty tough. The roads were very nice. The view too was extremely beautiful. Anyone would be tempted to do higher speeds on these roads. But if you ask me if that was advisable, I would surely say a no. Not unless you've had enough of practice. This was purely because these were inclined roads, and if and only if you knew to toggle between the gears effectively can you do higher speeds. As we rode further, the view just kept getting way better. People who were riding with me rode past me. However, I did take some time. I did stop on and off to make sure that I captured these beautiful roads. It was not wise to operate the camera while the vehicle was moving. As we rode further, I suddenly realized that none of the riders who were riding with me were either ahead of me nor were they behind me. I had lost all of them. They'd all ridden past me. As I rode further, I was thinking where I had lost them. I even thought I would be able to meet someone along the way, but that did not happen. As I was lost in thought, I did the biggest blunder. Yes, I failed to shift the gears effectively, and in an inclined plane, when you do not shift gears, this is what happens. The vehicle comes to a standstill. Yes, my vehicle did stall. It stalled in the worst of places. It was a steep slope and I did not know how to manage. If I am not wrong, I was in my second gear. I did panic. To panic is the worst thing to do. In such a situation, The best thing one can hope for is that someone comes to help you or you help yourself. And that is exactly what I did. I used the clutch and the brake to make sure I brought the vehicle back to a safe space where it was not really inclined. Then I turned off the engine. I gave it a couple of seconds and then turned on the vehicle again and started off from the first gear. Thankfully, I could move on. With the help of few locals, I managed to reach my destination. It started with fear. However, going forward, I started enjoying my ride. I was all by myself. Me, on the road, on my bike. This was the accommodation arranged for us to rest well, to eat, and to get together. We had started from Chennai at 5:30 in the morning and reached Yercaud at around 1:30. It was time for lunch. We finished lunch and took some time to rest. In the evening, we decided that we would go to a viewpoint near our resort. The day ended with a campfire. The next morning, we decided to go on a circuit ride around Yercaud. All the bikes were ready. All the bikers were completely geared up. The ride seemed extremely nice and smooth until a certain point. The bikers were going at a certain pace ahead of me, and I thought I was able to keep up with them. It was better than the previous day. One of the riders had gone there ahead of us to guide us in the right direction, and it took us to an extremely narrow road. I was not ready for this. The road was uneven and was very slippery. Not because it was wet, but because of the stones and the gravel. And here, once again, I let the vehicle come to a standstill. But this time, I did not panic. I knew I could get it going forward. I brought the gear down to the first gear immediately. Put my foot down and balanced and just took the bike ahead. Once I got the bike moving, I was pretty comfortable. I was confident, a lot more confident. I knew I can manage this. This road took us to an amazing viewpoint where we all gathered for some pictures. From here, while most of them had moved away to go on with the circuit ride, few of us stayed back. We did stay back for some amazing pictures and some major posing. From there, those of us who had decided to stay back spent some time and rode back to the hotel. On the way back, we stopped for some kara molaga bhaji and some tea. Here are some men who made my riding experience better. The next day, we started at 6 in the morning and rode back to Chennai with 2 stops. Thanks XPHP, it was an amazing ride and there was a lot of learning.